You no longer belong here!
The royal decree arrives at dawn, sealed in black wax, and I know before I break it open that my world is ending. Alpha King Bjorn has chosen his Luna. Pack law demands I attend the coronation. The forbidden bloodline growing inside me. His child, his heir to the throne, kicks against my ribs like it knows. Like it can feel the betrayal burning through my veins. And here's what destroys me. He doesn't know. He crowned another woman, and he has no idea that the baby I'm carrying could shatter his entire kingdom. Tell me the city you're watching from so I can send you a hug, because what happens next will break you the way it broke me. 3 months ago I was nobody. Astrid Eric's daughter of a minor pack healer, barely worth noticing in the grand halls of the Silver Blood Court. My family served the crown for generations, but we were shadows. Useful, forgettable, expendable. I learned early that girls like me don't dream of kings. We keep our heads down, we follow pack law, and we survive. But Bjorn, Alpha King Bjorn Magnusson, he looked at me like I was the only star in a moonless sky. It started in the healing chambers. He came to me after a border skirmish, blood soaking through his tunic, a gash across his ribs that would have killed a lesser wolf. The protocol said I should have summoned the High Healer. The protocol said I shouldn't have been alone with him. But his guards were dead, and he was dying, and my hands moved before my brain could stop them. I saved his life that night. And he looked at me, really looked at me for the first time. "What's your name?" His voice was rough, broken, but it wrapped around me like a blood oath I never agreed to. "Astrid, Your Majesty. Astrid." He repeated it like he was tasting wine. "You have magic in your hands." I didn't tell him the truth. That my healing gift wasn't just magic. It was something older, something forbidden. My grandmother's bloodline traced back to the Völva witches, the seers who were banished from the northern packs 2 centuries ago when King Harald declared their magic a threat to the throne. My mother made me swear on her deathbed never to reveal what I was. Never to let anyone know that the power flowing through my veins could read wolf bonds, could sense future heirs, could manipulate the very essence of pack hierarchy. I was a weapon the crown would destroy if they knew what I carried. But when Bjorn's golden eyes met mine, I forgot every warning. I forgot every rule. He came back the next night. And the night after that. Always with some excuse. A headache, a twisted ankle, tension in his shoulders from bearing the weight of the kingdom. I knew what he was doing. I knew, and I let him do it anyway. "The council wants me to choose a Luna," he told me one night. His voice bitter as wolfsbane. "They've paraded every eligible daughter from every major pack in front of me for months. They all smile the same, talk the same, want the same thing. The crown. The power. And what do you want, Your Majesty?" He caught my wrist, pulled me close enough that I could feel his heartbeat thundering against mine. "Something real. Just once, I want something that's mine. Not the crown's. Mine." That was the night everything changed. He kissed me in the shadows of the healing chambers, where pack law couldn't see us, where the royal decree couldn't reach us. And I kissed him back like I was drowning and he was air. His hands tangled in my hair. My healing magic flared, responding to his wolf, weaving between us like a golden thread. "I can't offer you anything," he whispered against my mouth. "I can't make you Luna. The council would never allow it. Your bloodline." "I know." I cut him off because I couldn't bear to hear him say it. That I wasn't enough. That I would never be enough. "But this, right now, this is mine. You're mine." It was the most beautiful lie he ever told me. We had 6 weeks. 6 weeks of stolen midnights and whispered promises that we both knew would shatter in daylight. He came to me every night. And every night I broke a little more because I knew this couldn't last. Kings don't marry healers. Alpha bloodlines don't mix with forbidden magic. But then my cycle stopped. And the nausea started. And I felt the flutter of new life taking root inside me. Not just any life, but royal blood, alpha power, a child who would be heir to the throne whether Bjorn claimed him or not. I stood in my chambers, hand pressed to my still flat stomach, and realized I was carrying the most dangerous secret in the entire kingdom. The baby's power was already calling to me through my Völva bloodline. I could sense its future, fragmented and violent. I saw flashes. A throne drenched in blood, a crown cracked in two, wolves bowing before a child with eyes like starlight. This wasn't just Bjorn's heir. This was something else. Something ancient and wild that my grandmother's bloodline had been waiting centuries to birth. This child could destroy his throne. Or save it. Had to tell him. Pack law demanded it. Any pregnancy involving royal blood must be declared immediately. But the decree came first. The black wax summons that changed everything. The coronation is being held in the Great Hall of Silverblood Keep, where pack law is written in stone and royal decrees are carved into the very walls. I stand in the back, hidden among the lower-ranking pack members, my hand instinctively covering my stomach where Bjorn's child grows stronger every day. I watch as she enters. Inga Svensdotter, daughter of Alpha Sven from the Eastern Blood Moon Pack, one of the oldest and most powerful bloodlines in the kingdom. She's beautiful in the way that royal-born wolves are beautiful, sharp and cold and untouchable. Her hair is the color of moonlight, braided with silver threads. Her dress is crimson silk that pools around her feet like spilled blood. She walks toward the throne like she owns it already. And Bjorn, my Bjorn, the man who whispered that I was his only 3 weeks ago. He stands before the entire pack and places the Luna crown on her head. The room erupts in celebration. Wolves howl their approval. The council members nod with satisfaction, their political games finally bearing fruit. This marriage will unite the northern and eastern packs, will strengthen borders, and will secure trade routes and military alliances. It's everything a king's marriage should be. And it destroys me. Can't breathe. Can't move. The healing magic in my veins turns sharp and violent, responding to my anguish. I feel the baby kick. Hard, angry, like it knows its father just betrayed us both. Bjorn's eyes sweep the crowd during the ceremony, and for one terrible moment, they land on me. His expression doesn't change. He doesn't flinch, doesn't pause, doesn't acknowledge that he's looking at the woman carrying his heir. He just looks through me, like I'm nobody, like I never existed. Pack law dictates the coronation ritual. Bjorn takes Inga's hand, brings it to his lips, then speaks the ancient words that bind them. By moon and blood, by fang and claw, I claim you as Luna, mate to my wolf, queen to my crown. Your bloodline joins mine, your future becomes mine, and together we secure the throne for generations to come. Each word is a knife in my chest. Inga responds with the Luna vows, her voice carrying across the hall. By moon and blood, by fang and claw, I accept this crown, this mate, this throne. My bloodline serves yours, my future binds to yours, and together we rule until death claims us. The blood oath comes next. An ancient ritual that can't be undone. Bjorn draws a silver blade across his palm, then across Inga's. Their blood mingles, drips onto the stone floor in front of the throne. Magic flares. Pack magic, royal magic, the kind that writes itself into destiny. And I feel it. Through my Völva bloodline. Through the forbidden magic I've kept hidden my entire life. I feel the bond snap into place between them. It's not a true mate bond. Those are rare, gifts from the moon herself. But it's close enough. A political bond strengthened by blood oath and royal decree. Should be permanent, unbreakable. But I'm carrying his child. His true heir. And according to the pack law, that changes everything. The celebration continues for hours. I should leave. I should run back to my chambers and pretend this never happened. But I'm frozen, watching Bjorn smile at his new Luna, watching him dance with her while the entire court applauds. Then Signa appears beside me. Signa Thomasdotter, my only friend in this cursed place. She's a scholar, a keeper of pack law and royal histories. She takes one look at my face and goes pale. Astrid. Well, please tell me you didn't. I'm pregnant. The words come out broken, barely a whisper. It's his. It's the king's child. Signa grabs my arm, drags me out of the great hall before anyone can notice. We make it to an empty corridor before she rounds on me, her eyes wild with fear. Do you understand what this means? He just took a blood oath with Inga. Their bond is sealed. You can't. Pack law states that any pregnancy must be declared before a royal mating, not after. If you come forward now, they'll call you a liar. They'll say you're trying to manipulate the throne. But I am pregnant. The child is his heir to the throne, no matter what vows he spoke today. It doesn't matter. Signa's voice cracks. The council will never acknowledge a bastard born from a forbidden bloodline. Your Völva heritage. If they find out what you are, they'll execute you. They'll claim the child is tainted, that your magic corrupted royal blood. They'll destroy you both. My hand instinctively covers my stomach. He has to know. Bjorn has to know he has an heir. And how do you plan to tell him? Walk up to the newly crowned Luna and announce you're carrying her husband's bastard. Astrid, they'll kill you. Pack law allows it. A woman who interferes with a royal mating can be executed for treason. The baby kicks again, stronger this time. And through my Völva gift, I sense its future shifting. The images come faster now. Bjorn on his knees before a child he doesn't recognize. The throne is cracking down the middle. Or, blood. A kingdom torn apart because its king didn't know the truth. I won't let him destroy our child because he chose politics over everything real. Then you have to run. Tonight. Before anyone realizes what you're carrying. But running means abandoning any claim my child has to the throne. Running means letting Inga become mother to the kingdom's future, while my baby, the true heir, grows up knowing its father chose another woman's bloodline over ours. Can't do it. I won't. I'm going to tell him. Signa looks at me like I've just signed my own death warrant. When? Tonight. After the celebration. When he's alone. And if he rejects you. If he chooses his new Luna and his crown over you and the baby. Then I'll know exactly where I stand. And I'll know exactly what I need to do next. The celebration lasts until dawn. I wait in the shadows of the royal wing, watching servants carry away empty wine glasses and extinguished candles. Inga retires to her new chambers, the Luna's quarters that used to belong to Bjorn's mother. The quarters that should have been mine if bloodlines and pack law didn't exist. Bjorn returns to his private chambers alone. I know his patterns, know his routines. He'll bathe, then stand on the balcony overlooking the kingdom, wrestling with whatever doubts he won't voice in daylight. I slip inside before the guards can stop me. He's standing exactly where I knew he'd be, still wearing his coronation robes, his back to me. His shoulders are tight with tension that has nothing to do with celebration. You shouldn't be here. His voice is empty. Hello. You married her. I did what pack law demanded. You took a blood oath. I secured the kingdom's future. He finally turns to face me, and the look in his eyes destroys whatever hope I was still clinging to. He's not my Bjorn anymore. He's the king. Cold, distant, untouchable. What we had, it was never going to be more than what it was. What we had. My voice breaks. What we had. Is that how you describe 6 weeks of promises you never meant to keep? I never promised you anything. You promised me this was real. You said I was yours. You were. For those moments you were. But moments end, Astrid. And I have a kingdom to rule. The baby kicks so hard I gasp. My hand flies to my stomach, and Bjorn's eyes track the movement. Something flickers across his face. Confusion, maybe recognition, but it's gone before I can read it clearly. I'm pregnant. The words land between us like a blade. Bjorn goes completely still. What did you say? I'm carrying your child. Your heir to the throne. I've been pregnant for 3 months. His face drains of color. That's impossible. Is it? You came to me every night for 6 weeks. You touched me, claimed me, and made me believe I was more than just a healer in your court. And now I'm pregnant with your baby. Your true heir. 3 months. His voice is barely a whisper. You've known for 3 months, and you're only telling me now? After I've taken the blood oath with Inga. After the coronation. I only confirmed it 2 weeks ago. And you were already planning the ceremony, already choosing your Luna. What was I supposed to do? Interrupt your political strategy with the truth? Yes. He roars, and his alpha power fills the room, pressing down on me like a physical weight. You should have come to me immediately. Pack law demands. Pack law also demanded you not touch a healer with a forbidden bloodline. I throw the words back at him. But that didn't stop you, did it? When you wanted something real, when you wanted something that was yours, pack law didn't matter. But now that there are consequences, now that your moment of weakness has created an heir, suddenly pack law is all that matters. He flinches like I've struck him. Tell me the truth, Bjorn. Did you ever plan to make me your Luna? Or was I always just a distraction before you did your duty? It was never that simple. Yes or no? Was I ever going to be more than your secret? The silence that follows tells me everything I need to know. The council would never have accepted you, he finally says. Your bloodline is stronger than you know. The words slip out before I can stop them. His eyes narrow. What does that mean? I should lie. Should protect the secret my mother died keeping. But I'm so tired of hiding, so tired of pretending I'm less than I am just to make powerful men comfortable. My grandmother was Völva, a seer from the old bloodlines, before your ancestor banished them. That magic runs through my veins, and it runs through your child's veins now. The baby I'm carrying isn't just your heir to the throne. It's something the kingdom hasn't seen in 2 centuries. Something that could reshape pack law itself. Bjorn takes a step back, and I see fear flash across his face. You're one of them. The witches King Harald drove out. I'm a healer who saved your life. I'm the woman you claimed was yours. And I'm the mother of your child. What I am beyond that shouldn't matter. It matters. His voice cracks. It matters because the council will use it against you. Against us. Against any claim that the child might have. They'll say you used magic to seduce me, to manipulate the royal bloodline. They'll call for your execution. Then protect me. I close the distance between us, grab his hand, and press it to my stomach where his child grows. Feel your air. Feel the power already building. This baby is yours, Bjorn. Your blood, your wolf, your future. Don't let pack law and political games destroy what could be your greatest legacy. For one moment, one breath, I see my Bjorn again. The man who held me in the healing chambers and whispered that I was his. His hand spreads across my stomach, and I feel his wolf reach out, sensing the life inside me. Then the door crashes open. Inga stands in the doorway, her Luna crown still on her head, her face twisted with rage. And behind her, the entire royal council. We're surrounded. So it's true. Inga's voice could cut glass. The healer thinks she can lay claim to the throne. Council head Magnus Eriksson steps forward. His expression carved from stone. He's ancient, powerful, and utterly loyal to pack law above all else. Astrid Eriksdottir, you stand accused of attempting to interfere with a royal mating. The penalty for such treason is death. Bjorn moves in front of me. She carries my child. A bastard conceived from a forbidden bloodline. Magnus doesn't even blink. Pack law is clear. Any pregnancy involving royal blood must be declared before a mating takes place. This woman knew she was pregnant and remained silent while you took the blood oath with Luna Inga. That silence constitutes treason. I didn't know. The lie burns my tongue, but I'm fighting for my baby's life now. I only discovered the pregnancy after the ceremony. I came to tell the king immediately. Liar. Inga steps into the room, circling me like a predator. You've known for weeks. The palace healers report you've been stealing birthroot tea to ease morning sickness. You knew, and you waited until after the coronation to make your claim. This is manipulation. This is an attempt to undermine my position as Luna. I can see the trap closing around me. Inga isn't just angry, she's smart. She's been preparing for this. She knew about the pregnancy before the coronation. She waited until after the blood oath was sealed to strike. The timing of my discovery doesn't change the fact that this child is the king's heir. To force my voice steady. Pack law recognizes bloodline above all else. This baby has royal blood. That gives it rights, whether conceived before or after a mating ceremony. Royal blood corrupted by witch magic. Another council member speaks up, Elder Torsten. Your Völva heritage makes any child you bear a threat to the crown. King Harald's decree was clear. Magic bloodlines are not to mix with royal bloodlines. Your child is an abomination by law. My child is innocent. The healing magic in my veins flares hot and violent, responding to my rage. The candles in the room flicker. Shadows twist along the walls. The council members step back, and I realize I've just proven their point. I've just shown them exactly why they should fear me. Magnus' eyes narrow. You dare use magic in the presence of the council? You dare threaten. She's not threatening anyone. Bjorn's voice cuts through the room, full of alpha command. She's protecting her child. And I will not allow you to condemn an innocent baby because of outdated laws written in fear. Inga moves to her husband's side, places a perfectly manicured hand on his arm. The new Luna is playing her role to perfection. My love, I understand this is difficult. But you took a blood oath with me. In front of the entire pack, in front of the moon herself, you claimed me as your mate. If you acknowledge this child now, you break that oath. And breaking a blood oath means death. Magnus finishes the sentence. Any alpha who breaks a blood oath loses their claim to the throne and their life. Pack law allows no exceptions. The trap is perfect. If Bjorn acknowledges our child, he dies. If he rejects the baby, I lose any protection the royal bloodline might offer. Either way, Inga wins. I watch Bjorn's face as he realizes what's happening. Watch him understand that every choice leads to disaster. His eyes meet mine, and I see the man I fell in love with warring with the king he has to be. There must be another way, he says. Pack law must have provisions for bastards born of forbidden bloodline. Magnus' voice is merciless. There is one provision. The child can be recognized as royal blood only if the Luna accepts it as her own. If Luna Inga agrees to raise the baby as heir to the throne, then no blood oath is broken, no treason is committed. Every eye in the room turns to Inga. She stands there in her crimson silk and silver crown, holding all our futures in her hands. She smiles. It doesn't reach her eyes. Of course I'll accept the child. I am Luna, and it's my duty to ensure the royal bloodline continues. She turns to Bjorn, her voice dripping with false sweetness. We can raise the baby together, my love. It will be as if it were our own. The baby kicks violently inside me. Through my Völva magic, I sense its future shifting again. Small hands reaching for a mother it will never truly know. Confused eyes watching Inga sit on a throne that should have belonged to me. A childhood of whispers and half-truths and never quite belonging. No. The word rips from my throat. You won't take my child. You don't have a choice. Magnus steps closer. His expression pitying in a way that makes me want to scream. Pack law is clear. Either the Luna accepts the child, or the child is declared illegitimate and has no claim to royal blood whatsoever. Those are your only options. What about me? What happens to me? The silence that follows is answer enough. The mother of an acknowledged royal child receives protection under pack law, Magnus says carefully. You would be allowed to live, but you would have no rights to the child. It would be raised by Luna Inga as her own. You would be compensated for your service to the crown, and then sent away. Far from the capital. Far from any claim of influence. They're going to take my baby and exile me. They're going to let Bjorn pretend this never happened, let Inga play mother to a child she didn't carry, and erase me from history like I never existed. And if I refuse, if I won't give up my child, Magnus' expression hardens. Then the child is declared illegitimate, stripped of all royal blood rights, and you are both cast out from the pack. No protection, no resources, no future. You would be rogues, and pack law allows any wolf to challenge rogues without consequence. You wouldn't survive a month. Either way, I lose my baby. Either I watch someone else raise my child while I'm exiled in silence, or we're both thrown to the wolves, literally, and hunted for sport. I look at Bjorn, silently begging him to fight this. Choose us. To remember what he whispered in the dark when he claimed I was his. He won't meet my eyes. I need time, I manage, to consider my options. You have until dawn, Magnus says. The council will reconvene at sunrise, and you will give us your answer. Will you allow Luna Inga to accept your child as heir to the throne, or will you condemn you both to a rogue's fate? They file out one by one. Inga leaves last, pausing in the doorway to look back at me with victory written all over her perfect face. Then it's just Bjorn and me. The man I loved, the father of my child, the king who let his council destroy us. Say something, I whisper. Tell me you'll fight for us. He stands there in his coronation robes, looking every inch the king and nothing like the man who held me in the healing chambers. I can't. His voice breaks. I can't break the blood oath. It would destroy the kingdom. The alliance with the Eastern Pax would collapse. We'd have a civil war within months. Thousands would die. So you'll sacrifice us instead. Your child and the woman who saved your life. You'll let Inga take our baby and pretend this never happened. It's the only way everyone survives. Everyone except me. He finally looks at me then, and I see tears in his eyes. But tears don't change anything. Tears don't give me back my future. I'm sorry, he whispers. For all of it. For making you believe we could be more than we were. For putting you in this position. Don't. I cut him off because I can't bear to hear him apologize for creating the only good thing in my life. Don't you dare apologize for this baby. This child is the only real thing that's come from this disaster. And I won't let you, or your council, or your perfect Luna. I won't let any of you turn my child into another political game. Then what will you do? I press my hand to my stomach, feel the power building there. The baby is stronger every day. More wolf than human already, even in the womb. And the Völva magic mixing with royal blood is creating something the kingdom has never seen. Something that could destroy his throne. Or save it. I'm going to protect my child. Whatever it takes. I walk out of his chambers before he can respond. Before I can change my mind. Before I can forget that the man I loved just chose his crown over everything else. I don't return to my chambers. Instead, I find Signa in the archives, buried in ancient texts, searching for any precedent that might save me. She looks up when I enter, her face drawn with exhaustion. Tell me it went well. Tell me he chose you. I shake my head, unable to speak past the grief choking my throat. Signa closes her books, comes to me, pulls me into her arms while I shatter. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. They're giving me until dawn to decide. Either I let Inga raise my baby as her own and accept exile, or they declare us rogues and cast us out to die. There has to be another way. Pack law must have. She stops. Her eyes widen. Wait. There might be something. She rushes back to her books, flipping through pages of ancient pack law and royal decrees. Here. This passage. It's from before King Harold's time. Before the Völva were banished. She reads aloud. In matters of disputed bloodline, when the identity of an heir to the throne is contested, the moon herself shall judge. The great challenge may be invoked, a trial by combat where the truth of royal blood is proven through the strength of a wolf. Should the challenged bloodline emerge victorious, all claims against the heir are nullified, and the child is recognized as legitimate by divine right. My heart stutters. A trial by combat. It's ancient law, rarely invoked, but it's never been officially repealed, which means it's still valid under the pack law. Signa grips my shoulders, her eyes blazing with desperate hope. You could challenge for your child's right to be recognized as heir. If you win, the council has to acknowledge the baby as legitimate, and Inga loses all claim. But I'm pregnant. I can't shift. I can't fight. You don't have to fight yourself. The great challenge allows for a champion. Someone who fights on your behalf. Who would be willing to fight the entire royal court for a bastard child with a forbidden bloodline? Signa opens her mouth to answer, but we're interrupted by a commotion in the hallway. Shouting, running footsteps, the sound of steel being drawn. We rush to the door just as a guard appears, his face pale with panic. The Eastern Packs are here. Alpha Sven and his entire warband. They're demanding an audience with the king, and they're not waiting for protocol. My blood runs cold. Inga's father. The man whose alliance with Bjorn was supposed to prevent war. He's here, and something tells me this isn't a social visit. We follow the guard to the great hall. The doors are already open and inside chaos. Alpha Sven stands before the throne, his warriors flanking him, all of them armed and dangerous. Bjorn faces his new father-in-law with carefully controlled calm, but I can see the tension in his shoulders. Inga stands beside her father, and her expression is triumphant. You dare to shame my daughter. Sven's voice booms through the hall. You dare to acknowledge a bastard conceived with a witch while my Inga wears the Luna crown? I've acknowledged nothing, Bjorn says carefully. The matter is still being discussed by the council. Discussed? Sven laughs, sharp and cruel. There's nothing to discuss. Pack law is clear. That witch and her abomination have no place in this kingdom. They should be executed for treason. The child is innocent, Bjorn says, and I hear the edge in his voice. The barely controlled rage of an alpha whose offspring is being threatened. The child is a mistake. Inga steps forward, all pretense of sweetness gone now. A mistake you made before our mating perhaps, but that doesn't change what must be done. Pack law demands purity of bloodline. That baby carries witch magic. It's a threat to the throne. It's my heir. Bjorn's alpha power explodes through the room. Wolves drop to their knees. Even Sven takes a step back. Royal blood runs through that child's veins. My blood. And I will not allow. You will allow what pack law demands, Magnus interrupts, entering the hall with the rest of the council. Or you will lose your crown. It's that simple, Your Majesty. I'm watching my child's future evaporate before my eyes. Every powerful person in the kingdom is united against us. Even Bjorn, the one person who should be fighting for his heir, is trapped by blood oaths and political alliances he can't break. That's when I step forward. Every head turns. The court sees me for the first time. Small, insignificant Astrid Eriksdotter, pregnant with a child they want to erase from existence. I walk down the center aisle, one hand protectively over my stomach, and I feel the baby kick in response. Strong, defiant, ready to fight even from the womb. I invoke the great challenge. The words ring through the hall like a blade being drawn. Magnus goes pale. You don't know what you're asking. I know exactly what I'm asking. Ancient pack law allows for trial by combat when the bloodline is disputed. I challenge Luna Inga's claim to my child. I challenge the council's right to declare my baby illegitimate. And I challenge this entire court to honor the moon's judgment instead of their political games. You're pregnant, Inga says, her voice dripping with condescension. You can't fight. I'll name a champion. Someone to fight on my child's behalf. And who would be foolish enough to fight the entire royal court for you? That's when Signa steps forward. I will. The hall erupts in shocked whispers. Signa Thomasdotter is a scholar, not a warrior. She's small, bookish, utterly unsuited for combat. But she's standing beside me with her head held high, and I see absolute determination in her eyes. You, Inga laughs. You're going to fight for this witch's bastard. You'll be dead in minutes. Then I'll die honorably, Signa says. Which is more than I can say for any of you. Magnus looks to Bjorn. Your Majesty, you can't allow this. The Great Challenge hasn't been invoked in 200 years. There are no protocols, no. Pack law is pack law. Bjorn's voice is hollow. He won't look at me. If Astrid invokes the Great Challenge, we must honor it. And if her champion loses, Sven demands. What then? Then the matter is settled, Magnus says quietly. The child is declared illegitimate, stripped of all royal blood rights, and both mother and baby are exiled as rogues. Those are the terms of the Great Challenge. Lose and you lose everything. I look at Signa, my only friend willing to die for a child that isn't hers, and I see the same desperate hope reflected back at me. This is our only chance. Win, and my baby is recognized as heir to the throne with every right that entails. Lose, and we're hunted outcasts with no future at all. I accept the terms, I say. When does the challenge take place? Tonight, Magnus says. At moonrise. In the sacred grove where pack law was first written. Your champion will face Luna Inga's champion in single combat. The moon will judge who speaks truth. Inga smiles, cold and satisfied. My champion will be Fenrir Olafsson. My heart stops. Fenrir Olafsson. The most feared warrior in the Eastern Packs. A man who's never lost a fight. A killer who's taken down entire war bands single-handedly. Signa is going to die. And my baby will die with her. The sacred grove sits at the edge of Silverblood territory, where ancient stones mark the place pack law was first carved into the earth. Moonlight filters through the trees, turning everything silver and ghostly. The entire court has gathered to watch. Nobles and warriors, council members and servants, everyone comes to witness either my salvation or my destruction. I stand at the edge of the circle with Signa, watching her prepare. She's changed into fighting leathers, but they hang loose on her scholar's frame. She's strapping on weapons she barely knows how to use. You don't have to do this, I whisper. I can't let you die for me. You're not letting me do anything. I'm choosing this. Signa checks the blade at her hip. Her hand steady despite the fear I can smell coming off her in waves. Someone has to stand up to them. Someone has to prove that pack law means more than politics and power games. Fenrir will kill you in seconds. Maybe. Or maybe the moon will intervene. Maybe ancient magic still exists in this world. And maybe it's tired of watching powerful men destroy everything good. She turns to me, grips my shoulders. Your baby deserves a chance, Astrid. Real chance. Not exile, not erasure, but a chance to grow up knowing who they are. Knowing their father is a king, even if that king is too much of a coward to claim them. Across the grove, Fenrir Olafsson enters the circle. He's massive, easily 7 feet tall with shoulders like a mountain. Scars cover every visible inch of skin, each one a story of survival. His wolf is close to the surface. I can see it in his eyes, in the way he moves. Predator. Killer. Destroyer. Signa is going to die, and there's nothing I can do to stop it. Bjorn stands near the throne that's been erected for this ceremony, Inga at his side wearing her Luna crown like armor. He won't meet my eyes. Hasn't looked at me since we entered the grove. Magnus steps into the center of the circle, raises his hands for silence. We gather under the full moon to witness the Great Challenge, as pack law demands. Astrid Eriksdotter has disputed the ruling of this council regarding her unborn child. She claims the baby carries royal blood and deserves recognition as heir to the throne. Luna Inga Svensdotter contests this claim. The moon will judge through trial by combat. Should Astrid's champion prevail, the child is recognized as legitimate and all claims against the heir are nullified. Should she fail, the child is declared illegitimate and both mother and baby are exiled as rogues. He turns to Signa. Champion, do you accept these terms? I do. Signa's voice doesn't waver. Champion, do you accept these terms? Magnus asks Fenrir. Fenrir doesn't speak. Just nods once. His expression carved from stone. Then by moon and blood let the challenge begin. Magnus steps out of the circle. The gathered wolves fall silent. Even the wind seems to hold its breath. Fenrir draws his blade, a massive thing that looks more like a cleaver than a sword. Signa draws hers, and it looks like a child's toy in comparison. They circle each other. Fenrir isn't even trying yet. He's assessing, playing with his prey. Signa keeps her distance, smart enough to know she can't match him in strength. Then Fenrir moves. He's fast for someone so large. Impossibly fast. His blade swings in a wide arc that would take Signa's head off if it connected. She ducks, rolls, comes up with her blade extended. Fenrir's fist catches her in the ribs. The sound of bones cracking echoes through the grove. Signa flies backward, hits the ground hard, her blade skittering away into the darkness. Signa! I scream, but she's already moving, scrambling for her weapon even as blood runs from her mouth. Fenrir stalks toward her, taking his time. He knows she's finished. Everyone knows. Signa's fingers close around her blade just as Fenrir's boot comes down on her wrist. She screams. He leans down, presses the edge of his weapon against her throat. Yield, he growls. Die with honor instead of shame. No. Signa spits blood. I don't yield. The baby inside me kicks violently, and suddenly my Völva magic surges. I feel it rising like a tidal wave, responding to my anguish, to my rage, to my absolute refusal to watch my friend die for nothing. Power floods through my veins, ancient, wild, forbidden magic that my grandmother's bloodline has carried for centuries. The air in the grove changes. The moonlight intensifies, becomes almost solid. And through my magic I feel something else. Something old and watchful and utterly merciless. The moon herself is here. Watching, judging. My hands move without conscious thought. I press them to my stomach, to the baby growing there, and I channel everything I have through that connection. The child responds immediately. Royal wolf blood mixing with Völva magic, creating something that shouldn't exist but does anyway. Power explodes from me in a wave of pure silver light. Hits the circle like lightning. Fenrir staggers back, his blade dropping from nerveless fingers. Signa gasps, and I watch as the magic wraps around her, healing her broken ribs, mending her shattered wrist, filling her with strength that isn't her own. It's mine. It's the baby's. It's ancient magic that Pak Law tried to bury 200 years ago, now burning bright enough to blind. The entire court recoils. I hear shouts of fear, accusations of witchcraft, demands that this mockery be stopped immediately. But I can't stop. The magic has taken on a life of its own, flowing through my child, through Signa, through the very earth beneath the sacred grove. Signa rises. Her eyes are glowing silver, not wolf gold but something older. Something that predates Pak Law and royal decrees and blood oaths. She picks up her blade, and when she moves with power that makes Fenrir look slow. Their blades clash. Once. 3 times. Each impact sends sparks flying, and the gathered wolves watch in stunned silence as a scholar matches the greatest warrior in the Eastern Pax blow for blow. This isn't possible. This breaks every rule of combat, every law of nature. But the moon is watching and she doesn't care about rules. Fenrir roars, calls his shift. His body ripples, preparing to become the massive wolf that's earned him his fearsome reputation. If he shifts, Signa is dead. No amount of borrowed magic will save her from a full wolf in combat. But the moonlight intensifies again, becomes almost painful to look at directly. And I feel the presence in the grove grow stronger. Not just watching anymore. Participating. Fenrir's shift fails. His body convulses, stuck halfway between forms, and he screams in agony. Because the moon has rendered her judgment. And she's chosen us. Signa's blade finds his throat. One quick movement and it's over. Fenrir Olafsson, the undefeated warrior, falls to the ground with his blood soaking into the sacred earth. The silence that follows is absolute. Signa stands there, chest heaving, covered in blood that isn't hers, glowing with magic that's already starting to fade. She turns to Magnus, to the council, to the entire court that wanted us destroyed. The moon has judged, she says, her voice carrying despite her exhaustion. The child is legitimate. Pack law demands you recognize Astrid's baby as heir to the throne. Magnus looks like he's been struck. He turns to Bjorn, silently begging for guidance, but the king is staring at me with something like awe and terror mixed together. He saw what I did. They all saw. The power I carry, the magic I can channel through our child. I'm not just a healer with a forbidden bloodline anymore. I'm a threat. A weapon. Something that could topple his carefully constructed kingdom if I chose. The challenge is won, Magnus says finally, his voice hollow. By moon and blood, by fang and claw, we recognize the legitimacy of the heir growing in Astrid Eriksdottir's womb. All claims against the child are nullified. Pack law has been satisfied. Inga's face goes white with rage. This is a mockery. She used magic. Forbidden magic, to cheat. The challenge was supposed to be combat, not witchcraft. The moon herself intervened. An elder voice speaks up. Elder Freya, the oldest member of the council, steps forward with tears streaming down her face. I remember the old ways. Before King Harald's fear drove out the Völva, the moon chooses her champions, and she's chosen this child. We cannot go against divine will. Divine will. Alpha Sven explodes. This is exactly why we banished the witches. They corrupt everything they touch. That baby is an abomination, and this farce proves it. The challenge was won fairly, Bjorn says quietly. His voice carries absolute alpha command. The moon judged. Pack law stands. My heir will be recognized. My heir. Not our child. Not the baby we made together in stolen midnights. Just his heir. A political tool now, whether I want it to be or not. Inga turns on her husband, her perfect composure finally cracking. You would choose this over me. Over our alliance. Over everything we've built. I choose pack law. Bjorn still won't look at me. The challenge was invoked correctly and won fairly. I cannot go against the moon's judgment. Then you've chosen war. Alpha Sven gestures to his warriors. The Eastern Pax will not tolerate this insult. Your throne sits on a foundation of lies and witchcraft. We withdraw our alliance, effective immediately. And when we return, it will be with an army. He storms out, his warriors following. Inga remains for one moment longer, staring at me with pure hatred burning in her eyes. Enjoy your victory, she whispers. It won't last. I'm still Luna. I still wear the crown. And I will make sure you regret every moment of this. Then she's gone, and I'm left standing in a sacred grove with my friend's blood on my hands and my child's future hanging by a thread. The magic has faded now. I feel empty, hollowed out, like I've poured everything I am into that single moment and there's nothing left. Signa catches me before I fall, holds me up while the court whispers and stares. You did it, she murmurs. The baby is recognized. You won. But looking at Bjorn's face, at the fear and resentment and something almost like grief in his eyes, I know the truth. I haven't won anything. I've just started a war. They take me to chambers in the royal wing. Not the Luna's quarters, those still belong to Inga, but rooms that are close enough to the throne that everyone knows what they mean. The child I carry is recognized as heir now. Pack law demands I be protected, honored, and given everything a royal mother deserves. But I'm still not his Luna. Still not his mate. Still nothing more than the woman who carries what he couldn't deny. The healers come to check on the baby and me. They're nervous, careful not to touch me more than necessary. Word of what happened in the grove has spread. Everyone knows what I am now. What I can do. The forbidden magic I carry. They're terrified of me. One of the healers, an older woman named Ragnhild, lingers after the others leave. She checks my pulse, listens to the baby's heartbeat, then leans close enough to whisper. Your grandmother would be proud. Go still. You knew her. I was there when King Harald drove out the Völva. I watched them burn the sacred texts, destroy the temples, execute anyone who wouldn't renounce their magic. Her eyes are sad and ancient. Your grandmother was the most powerful of them all. She could have fought back. It could have brought the entire kingdom to its knees. But she chose mercy, chose to go quietly, believing that someday her bloodline would return when the kingdom was ready to remember what it had lost. The kingdom isn't ready. Look what just happened. I nearly started a civil war just by existing. The kingdom is never ready for change. Change comes anyway. Ragnhild presses something into my palm. A small stone, carved with symbols I don't recognize. Your grandmother gave this to me before she left. She said to give it to her granddaughter when the time came. I saw you, Astrid. Saw this moment. Saw the choice you would have to make. What choice? The one coming. Soon. Ragnhild heads for the door, then pauses. The baby you carry, it's more powerful than you know. More dangerous. Royal wolf blood and Völva magic shouldn't exist in the same body. The combination is unstable. You felt it tonight in the grove. How the magic consumed you. How it acted of its own will. My hand instinctively covers my stomach. What are you saying? I'm saying your child could save this kingdom. Or destroy it. And you won't know which until the moment of choice arrives. She opens the door, letting in the sounds of the palace beyond. Guard that baby with your life, Astrid. Because there are forces moving now that won't stop until either you or Inga is dead. She's gone before I can ask what she means. I sit alone in my new chambers, one hand pressed to my stomach where the baby sleeps. It's quiet now. The frantic kicking from earlier has finally settled. But I can feel the power there. The potential. The danger. My child is recognized as heir to the throne. But Inga is still Luna. Still Bjorn's mate by blood oath. Still the woman who wears the crown and controls the court. And now I've humiliated her in front of the entire kingdom, proven that my magic is stronger than her political games. She'll never forgive that. Never accept it. One of us has to fall. And I'm starting to realize that all the pack law in the world won't protect me from a Luna who wants me dead. There's a knock at my door. My heart leaps. Stupid, desperate hope that it might be Bjorn, finally ready to choose us over his crown. But when I open it, it's just a servant. Young, nervous, carrying a sealed letter. From the king, my lady. I take it with shaking hands, break the seal, and unfold the parchment. His handwriting is neat, controlled, utterly impersonal. Astrid. The council has decreed that for your safety and the safety of my heir, you will remain in the royal wing under guard until the child is born. You will receive the best care, the finest healers, and everything you need. But you are not to leave these quarters without explicit permission. The Eastern Pacts have declared war. The court is divided. Your presence has created instability that threatens the entire kingdom. I'm sorry it came to this. I'm sorry for all of it. But this is the only way to protect you. I read it 3 times, trying to find some hint of the man who held me in the healing chambers. Some trace of feeling beyond political necessity. There's nothing. Just a king doing his duty, protecting his heir, maintaining control. I'm a prisoner now. A glorified broodmare locked away until I produce the baby that half the kingdom wants dead. And once the child is born, what then? Will they take my baby the way Inga threatened? Raise it as theirs while I'm forgotten in these pretty rooms. The stone Ragnhild gave me burns against my palm. I look down at it, study the carved symbols that seem to shift in the lamplight. Old magic. Völva magic. The kind that could break through walls and blood oaths and every law that's keeping me trapped. I think about my grandmother, choosing mercy when she could have chosen war. Leaving quietly when she could have burned the kingdom to ash. Believing that someday her bloodline would return when the time was right. But what if the time is never right? What if kingdoms only understand power and violence? What if mercy is just another word for surrender? The baby kicks, strong, defiant, already fighting even from the womb. My child deserves better than this. Deserves a father who claims them. A kingdom that celebrates them instead of fearing them. A future that isn't built on shame and compromise and locked doors. I press the carved stone against my stomach, against the life growing there, and I feel something click into place. The symbols flare with silver light. Magic responds. Old magic, wild magic, the kind my grandmother wielded before King Harold made her run. And I understand what Ragnhild meant. The choice is coming. The moment that will determine everything. I can accept this fate. Stay locked in these chambers, let them control my child's future. Watch from the shadows while Inga plays Luna and Bjorn plays King, and my baby grows up never knowing what they could have been. Or I can fight. Really fight. Use every ounce of power in my bloodline. Every secret my grandmother's magic has kept hidden. Every dangerous ability the kingdom tried to bury. I can make them remember why they feared the Völva in the first place. The door opens again. No knock this time, just someone walking in like they own the place. I spin around, magic already rising to my hands. It's Inga. Alone. Her Luna crown gleaming in the lamplight. Her face calm and cold and utterly merciless. You should have taken the exile when I offered it, she says softly. She draws a blade from beneath her cloak. Silver. Poison. I can smell the wolfsbane coating the metal, the kind that kills our kind in seconds. The guards outside are loyal to me, she continues, moving closer. They'll swear you attacked me first. Self-defense. Tragic accident. The unstable witch who couldn't accept her place. My magic surges, but she's faster. The blade slashes across my arm before I can react. Fire explodes through my veins. Wolfsbane. Burning. Killing. I stumble backward, hit the wall. The baby thrashes inside me, panicking as the poison spreads through my system. Inga stands over me, blade raised for the killing blow. Your child would have been magnificent. I would have raised them well. But you couldn't accept that, could you? You had to make yourself a threat. Had to prove you were more than just a vessel. She brings the blade down. Silver light explodes from my stomach. The baby's power responds to the mortal threat. Ancient magic mixed with royal blood, unleashed in pure survival instinct. Inga flies backward, slams into the far wall hard enough to crack stone. Her blade clatters across the floor. She stares at me with shock and terror and hatred so pure it's almost beautiful. What are you? She whispers. I press my hand to my bleeding arm, channeling magic through the wound. The wolfsbane tries to resist, but my grandmother's power is older, stronger. It burns the poison out, seals the wound, leaves nothing but a scar. I'm the mother of the heir to the throne, I say quietly. And you just declared war on the wrong bloodline. The guards burst through the door, swords drawn. They see Inga against the wall, see me standing with silver magic crackling around my hands, see the blade on the floor between us. The Luna attacked me, I say before Inga can speak. She tried to murder the king's heir. Pack law demands justice. She's lying. Inga scrambles to her feet. She attacked me with her witchcraft. She's the threat. The guards look between us, uncertain. One of them is loyal to Inga. I can see it in his eyes. But the others? They're loyal to pack law. And the pack law says the heir must be protected above all else. Summon the king, the lead guard says finally. Let him judge. We wait in tense silence. I am with magic still burning under my skin, ready to fight if she moves again. Inga, with her perfect composure finally shattered, understood that she had made a critical mistake. She tried to kill the heir. That's treason. Even if she's Luna, even if she wears the crown, she tried to murder the next in line for the throne. The pack law is absolute, and it demands her death. Bjorn arrives with the council, takes one look at the scene, and I watch his face go from confusion to horror to rage so pure it makes his alpha power fill the room like thunder. What happened here? His voice could cut steel. Luna Inga attempted to assassinate Astrid and the heir, the lead guard reports. We found her with a poisoned blade, wolfsbane on the metal. The wound on Astrid's arm confirms the attack. Bjorn turns to his Luna, his mate by blood oath, the woman he crowned just yesterday. Is this true? Inga lifts her chin, defiant even in defeat. She's a threat to the kingdom. To you. To everything we've built. That baby she's carrying, it's dangerous. Unstable. You felt the magic in the grove. You know what she is. I know she carries my heir, Bjorn says softly. And you tried to kill them both. To protect you. To protect the throne. The throne doesn't need protection from its own heir. He steps closer to her, and I see something break in his expression. You've committed treason. Pack law is clear. The penalty is death. Inga laughs, high, sharp, edged with hysteria. You can't execute me. We're bound by blood oath. Kill me and you break the oath. Break the oath, and you lose your throne and your life. That's pack law too. She's right. I watch understanding dawn across Bjorn's face. He can't kill her without destroying himself. The blood oath they took protects her as surely as it binds them. We're trapped, all of us, in a web of pack law and ancient magic and blood oaths that can't be broken. Then you'll be exiled, Magnus says quietly. Stripped of your title, your crown, your rights as Luna. You'll be sent beyond our borders and forbidden from ever returning. It's the only punishment pack law allows for a Luna who commits treason without her mate's death following. Inga's expression hardens. If you exile me, the Eastern Pax will consider it an act of war. My father will march on this kingdom with every warrior he can muster. You'll have civil war within the month. Then let there be war, Bjorn says, and his voice carries the weight of finality. I won't allow anyone who tried to murder my heir to remain in this kingdom. Not even my Luna. He removes her crown himself, takes it off her head with hands that don't quite steady, and I see the cost written in every line of his face. He's choosing our child over political alliance, over his own safety, over everything he built with this marriage. He's finally choosing us. But it's too late. Too late to fix what's broken, too late to take back the betrayal, too late to be anything except the king doing his duty. Inga is dragged away, screaming threats and promises of vengeance. The council files out, murmuring about war preparations and defensive strategies. Soon it's just me and Bjorn in my chambers, the silence between us loud enough to drown in. I should have protected you better, he says finally. Should have seen this coming. You chose your crown over me. You don't get to play protector now. I chose the kingdom. I chose everything except us. Cut him off. You had 6 weeks to choose us. 6 weeks to make me your Luna before pack law made it impossible. But you were already planning your political marriage, already deciding that I was nothing more than a mistake to be managed. That's not fair. None of this is fair. My voice breaks. I'm carrying your child, your heir, and I'm still not your mate. You've exiled your Luna to protect us, but you won't claim me to replace her. What am I, Bjorn? What are we to you? He looks at me with those golden eyes that used to make me believe in impossible things, and I see the truth he won't speak aloud. We're his duty now. His responsibility. The heir he has to protect because pack law demands it, not because he loves us. The war is coming, he says instead of answering. The Eastern Pax will march on us, and other Pax who disagree with my decision will join them. We'll be fighting enemies on all sides. And they'll be targeting you specifically. You and the baby. Then give me a reason to fight for your kingdom, I challenge. Claim me. Make me your Luna officially. Show the entire realm that you're not just protecting an heir. You're protecting your mate. I can't break the blood oath with Inga. Even exiled, she's still bound to me. If I try to take another Luna while that oath stands, then break it. Find a way. Use my grandmother's magic, use pack law loopholes, use whatever it takes. Because I won't raise my child in the shadows while you pretend this is enough. He reaches for me and I step back. I can't let him touch me. Can't let him break my resolve with the same gentle hands that held me in the healing chambers and made me believe I mattered. What do you want from me, Astrid? I want you to choose us. Really choose us. Not because pack law demands it. Not because we're convenient, but because you love us more than your crown. I do love you. Then prove it. Find a way to make me your Luna. Break the blood oath, change pack law, I don't care how you do it. But until you do, until you claim us publicly the way you claimed Inga, we're nothing. Just another political problem you have to solve. I turn away from him, press my hand to my stomach where our baby sleeps. Where the most dangerous bloodline in the kingdom is growing stronger every day. War is coming, I say softly. Forces moving that want us dead. And you need to decide. Are you fighting for the throne? Or are you fighting for us? He doesn't answer. Just stands there in the middle of my chambers, looking lost and broken and still every inch a king. Then he leaves without a word, and I'm alone again. But not really alone. Never alone. Because I'm carrying life inside me. His heir, my child, a baby with magic so powerful it stopped time in the sacred grove and brought the moon herself down to judge. This child could destroy his throne. Or save it. The choice was never his to make. It was always mine. I press Ragnhild's stone against my stomach. Feel the ancient magic respond. Feel my grandmother's power waking up after 2 centuries of silence. Ready to teach me everything the kingdom tried to forget. They wanted to bury the Völva. They wanted to erase our bloodline, our magic, our power. But we're back now. Growing in the womb of a woman, they dismissed as nothing. And when my child is born, everything will change. War is coming. Betrayal is coming. Forces that want us dead are already moving in the shadows. But let them come. Let them try. Because I'm done accepting what powerful men decide I deserve. I'm done being nothing. The baby kicks, strong, wild, ready to fight. And so am I. The kingdom holds its breath. The exiled Luna gathers her father's army. The forbidden heir grows stronger. And somewhere in the royal chambers, a king who chose his crown over everything else is about to learn what it truly costs to betray the one woman who could have saved him. What happens next will determine the fate of the entire realm. Because Astrid Eriksdotter, healer, witch, mother of the heir, has stopped accepting the world as it is.